Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Mr. Gao Goli, Director General of the China Center for Urban Development, National Development and Reform Commission, and Mr. Bruno Durkin, Officer in charge of the Regional Office for the Asia and Pacific of UN Habitat, for this invitation to address this forum and explore urban pathways to carbon neutrality. As we begin to leave the pandemic behind us, we are faced with several challenges that run the risk of further slowing our momentum towards sustainable development. Many parts of the world continue to experience food and energy shortages, leading to high prices and increasing food insecurity. In addition, we are witnessing the intensifying impact of climate change with more frequent and more extreme weather events, along with rising geopolitical tensions globally. Cities can help to solve some of these challenges, but also face their own challenges due to the rapid pace of urbanization we have experienced. Today, over 50% of the world's population lives in urban areas, about 4.4 billion people. And by 2045, the world's urban population will increase by almost 50% to around 6 billion people. A significant portion of this increase is the result of forced displacement, either due to the impact of climate change or conflicts. This expanding population will place additional stress on local governments, as cities will need to provide essential services, infrastructure, and affordable housing to these new inhabitants, requiring solid urban planning in order to avoid uncontrolled and disorganized urban sprawl, which would have detrimental impact on the city's environmental sustainability. Given the rapid rate of urbanization we expect and the complex and interconnected challenges this will create, city leaders will need new tools and partnerships to tackle these challenges effectively. In the past decades, China experienced rapid urbanization and will likely continue to see further urbanization in the coming decades, as will the rest of the world. China has taken important steps to ensure this urbanization follows a green and low carbon model, having announced commitments for carbon peaking and carbon neutrality. In addition, China has identified a green and low carbon economy and a society as the highest priority in the 20th National Party Congress report. Realizing these commitments will be crucial for the health of China and our planet. While China is a global leader in green technology such as wind and solar power and electric vehicle, China is also the world's largest greenhouse gas emitter and importer of natural resources. China must realize its commitment to carbon neutrality and move towards a less resource-intensive economic model in order to guarantee both China and the world avoid the worst impact of climate change. This can help to decouple resource consumption from economic growth, a key goal to making our production and consumption patterns more sustainable. Reaching these goals is achievable, but will be challenging and will require high levels of investments and partnerships with the private sector and other parts of society. We, the United Nations and China, stand ready to provide our expertise and technical assistance in support of the policy and structural changes needed for China to achieve its climate and environmental goals, one of the three strategic pillars under the 2021-2025 United Nations Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework for China. Over the past decade, the United Nations and China has been working closely with Chinese partners on programs committed to improving urban public spaces, developing green and low carbon cities, fostering urban renewal, supporting sustainable urban planning and design, and promoting the healthy and child-friendly cities, all in implementing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the new Urban Agenda. For example, the Partnership for Action on Green Economy has brought together the United Nations Environmental Programme, the United Nations Development Programme, the International Labour Organization, and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, along with the United Nations Institute for Training and Research, to provide policy advice, assessments, capacity building, and analytical tools to support China's transition to an inclusive green economy. Since 2015, the Partnership for Action on Green Economy has supported Jiangsu province in developing macro-level green economy policy, sectoral policy advisory services in green industrial development, green jobs, and green trade. In addition, several United Nations agencies, including UN Habitat and the World Health Organization, supported the National Development and Reform Commission in establishing an alliance that provides opportunities for high-quality exchange and delivers high-quality research outcomes to develop projects that support the Sustainable Development Goals achievement in cities and urban areas. The model for this alliance is to develop working groups comprised of a department of the National Development and Reform Commission, a city, and an international organization. Here in Chengdu, UN Habitat, with the International Division of the NDRC Commission and the Chengdu Municipal Government, has established a Livable Cities Working Group to implement substantive workshops and meetings and to build an exchange platform for government, cities, and private sector under this alliance. These are a few examples of our work to support China's sustainable development agenda, but more remains to be done. We must recognize the complexity of city-driven dynamics and increase interest and focus on urban issues. A new narrative of sustainable urban development must become central to global policy making if we are to hope to respond to the most pressing social and environmental challenges adequately. Achieving a resilient, green, and low-carbon economy requires immediate action and efforts from all of international, regional, local, and at the individual level. It will take concerted and coordinated and national efforts for China to achieve carbon neutrality, requiring decisive policy support, industry reform, and public awareness, and broader support from all of society. The United Nations and China will continue to support the government of China by providing our technical expertise to accelerate progress towards a greener and a more sustainable future. I wish you all great success during the deliberations at this forum today and look forward to hearing of the outcomes of this very important event. Thank you very much. 谢谢。